Hello, Lobo fans. Welcome into your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, with the head football coach at New Mexico, Danny Gonzales. Coach G, congratulations. Longest trip for the Lobos in the contiguous U.S. You guys come back with a W.
It was probably not the way we wanted it to end, but it ended the right way. It ended with the Lobo victory. And I would have liked to have scored a touchdown in that third or fourth quarter to make it 35-17 at that point, or 35-20. Would have been a little bit less stressful on me. But I think it was really good for our football team to win a game like this. Everything went against us in the last few minutes. By our own admission, we did it to ourselves, but we made enough plays to come out with the win in overtime, which was really good for our team.
The Lobos carried a 2-touchdown advantage into the second half. No second half points, but you did enough defensively. You do give up the big play at the end of the game, and then you win in overtime.
We did, and the overtime we were going to go on defense first if we won the toss. We got the opportunity. We held them to 4th and 1. They chose to kick the field goal instead of go for it, probably because of the earlier success we had on those downs. They don't want to walk away with no points, so they kicked the field goal, and we knew what we had to do.
It was as good as a Lobo offense has looked against an FBS opponent in a long, long time. You put together 4 touchdown drives back to back to back to back there in the first half. How good was it?
It was good. It didn't start good. We got stopped on 3rd and 1 the first time all year, which was disappointing. I thought about going for it on the 4th down. We were going to try and get him to jump, and then we moved and got knocked back to 6 yards, and so we punted the ball away. Got the ball back right away for our offense and went down and scored a couple touchdowns, got a lead, which was good, but we got to close it out a little bit better than we did.
One thing that we knew coming out of camp, the Lobos had better skill position players. Coach G, man, did they come through in the pass game in that first half.
Caleb Medford's got a chance to be really, really good. He could be one of the better ones in the league, so we'll see as the season goes along.
He had a phenomenal game. All right, when we come back on the other side, first half highlights of the Lobos and UMass from Amherst. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at New Mexico, Danny Gonzales. It's time for first half highlights, the Lobos and UMass from Amherst.
Here was the first 3rd and 1 we were talking about. This is the first time we've been stopped on 3rd down all year. Give them credit. Their front did a nice job on that. We tried to get them to jump here. Got a little delay game penalty, false start. So we punted away and going to go see what we can do on defense.
So not the best Aaron Rodriguez punt, but your defense did its job?
We did a nice job. We got him into a 3rd and long. I didn't like this call. They called roughing the passer. Cy got him with his elbow on the head. It wasn't intentional. As Alec was hitting him going down, Cy came across. Wasn't late, just that's what they called. So we give them a couple yards, and then we had to stop them and hold them to get a field goal attempt.
So you forced the field goal. I tell you what, your short yardage work overall in this game, Coach, was fantastic.
Right there, this is just an old rugby scrum. Who's going to be the tougher guy? Our guys got lower, and then Alec did a great job of meeting the running back over the top. Held him to this field goal attempt. He pushed it wide to the left. Got off with no points. That was a really good series, and then we were going to take the ball down and score here on offense.
Alec Marenko had a phenomenal game defensively, didn't he, Coach?
I thought between him and Alec and Tavian played really good, which was exciting. We went up top here to Caleb Medford. Dylan was a little bit late with the throw, or Caleb would have walked into the end zone. But really nice execution right here, and good job by Caleb coming up with the grab and getting hit.
You hit a couple of big plays over the top. One of them, a flea flicker, we'll see in a little bit. Maybe just a tad underthrown. Or they both could have gone for touchdowns.
They could have. I gave Dylan a hard time about those guys outrunning his arm, which he took offense to. So hopefully that won't happen this week. But there's Caleb Medford again on a dig route. Really nice grab. But we've got some options out there. This one DJ needs to come up with. We got some guys out there that can catch the ball and make plays, which is exciting. We got some big receivers. This was a great catch. When you can throw it up to a 6'4" guy that has a 38-inch vertical, it's really hard to defend if you don't play it perfect.
We have been waiting to see this kind of play on the edge from Caleb Medford and DJ Washington. That is unbelievable at Caleb.
That's part of the transfer portal right there. Those guys are good football players, and I'm glad they're on our team.
That's a TCU 4-star recruit right there, playing in Lobo Cherry and Silver.
There's Christian Ellis. He had a hot and cold day. Really good on some plays, not so good on others, but he made a couple really big plays. The 4th down play, that was a really nice tackle right there on 3rd down. There was a 4th down. They tried to run the ball. We were really good up front, being physical, staying low, knocking them back. And once again, Alex shows up, and we keep him get him off the field, and we gave our offense great field position.
Surprised you at all that he went for it on the negative 40 there?
No, I think it just goes to show they have confidence in their offensive line. We had confidence in our defensive line, and we won that one. What a great cut by Bill right there, and you know, he's electric. He was a little banged up towards the second half there, so we gave Sherrod White some run, which did a great job. But the healthier Bill gets, the better we're going to be as a football team.
I think it's 7 rushing touchdowns now. He continues to be on pace to set a new standard for rush TDs in a single year.
He's a hard one to bring down. This one was a little bit disappointed. We had an opportunity to get off the field on third down. They completed one. They moved the ball down. We had this one right here was the linebacker dropping off in coverage, zoning up a little bit too early, which we gave up. We gave up 8 plays for a total of 245 yards. That's way too many. The other 63 plays, we gave up 220 yards. So we've got to be able to do that for the entire game and not give up big plays on those 50-50 balls or making assignment errors and letting the guy run for 21 yards for free.
There's some interesting ball handling on that play, actually. They had put a little unique twist on the reverse.
They did, and they got me. That one was on me. I thought they were going to run the ball up the middle, so we kind of collapsed our front to make it bounce, and we didn't have anybody on the edge on that one defense. One of our DBs that had him in man coverage had to run him down. Got him down into scoring range, and they put it in. Now, we did a great job on offense coming right back. I mean, they held a lot on the perimeter. They were having a hard time with our guys with speed. I mean, Jeremiah ran right by him, and he's got him by the horse collar right there. They called it, so it's smart by them. Don't give up a touchdown, give up a 15-yard penalty.
No, an obvious hold there with the ball in the air, goes for a pass interference, and you just continue to take your shots because you love your guys man-to-man.
We do. We think we got guys. That one was thrown a little bit behind Jeremiah. If Dylan puts it in front of him, which most of the time he does, we'll be able to come up with that ball. But we're not going to stop throwing them. I mean, we're going to take these opportunities. What a great catch by Deuce right here. They kind of pressed him on the line of scrimmage. Dylan made a great adjustment, and then that's a heck of a job of going up and getting it with one hand and pulling it in on a 3rd and 15.
You don't often see 2 players running at different depths down the same side of the field like that, Coach.
No, you know, they hemmed up Deuce a little bit on the sideline. Here was a nice reverse to Jeremiah, and then the late hit right here. That wasn't targeting. I'm glad they didn't call it targeting. I hate that rule. So the guy got to play. We already had the penalty. We got down there close. Dylan right there wasn't any chance he was handing that ball off when Coach Vincent gave him the option to pull it. Dylan was getting in the end zone.
He has shown to be quite the tough customer when he does tuck it away and take off.
He's physical. He's 230 pounds. I mean, he's not easy to bring down, and he's not afraid. Now, I told him I don't want him getting hurt. But we're going to keep making plays as long as we can. Now, there was a couple of penalties on this one. They called the one that prevented us from making the tackle, but we got to cover better on kickoff. Even if we get held, we got to make plays.
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 holds on that particular kickoff.
There were. We didn't converge on this ball in the secondary like we should have. Gave them a 21-yard run when we should have stoned them at the line of scrimmage. That was disappointing. We had a little bit of hard time tackling Carlos Davis. We did get to him quite a bit, and we got to find out who their 3rd-string quarterback was.
Yeah, you did get deeper into their depth chart in the second half. But again, for a second straight week, the quarterback runs, whether designed or improv, they were a problem for the Lobos.
No, the scramble was hurting us. I mean, we didn't contain the pocket good enough. Right there, Zach Morris with dirty eyes. And what I told Zach after the game is get used to it, man, because they're not throwing the ball at Dante Martin. They can't do it. And so you're going to get more action out there. So between Zach and Christian Ellis and Noah, those guys are going to have to start making some 50-50 plays. Really good play right here on the flea flicker. Once again, Andrew outran Dylan's arm a little bit, but that's a big gain, and it gave us an opportunity to put the ball into right before half to go up 28-14.
When a guy is this wide open, though, you'd rather see it a little bit underthrown because you don't want to miss out on a big play like that.
No,
right?
You don't. And Dylan probably hitched it one too many times, but here's a great pickup on 3rd and 10, and once again, Dylan is a 230-pound guy that can run. He's a lot faster than people think.
Design QB draw,
This
right?
was a design QB draw. And like I said, he's a lot faster than people think, and he can make a lot of plays with his feet.
And he's physical. He's not afraid to stick his shoulder in. I got to be the left shoulder.
It does. Yeah, exactly right. There's a nice run by Sherrod White to get in the end zone, which this was good. I mean, a minute to go, I think it was less than 45 seconds to go in the half to give us a 14-point lead. Going into half was really good. They ran out the clock. We dropped 8 in coverage just to make sure we don't give up a big silly one, and we get in that going to halftime at 28-14.
Gosh, look at that. 174 pass yards, 94 rush yards, 268 total in the first half alone, Coach.
You know, we had good production on offense. Not good enough on defense. We gave up 2 long pass plays in the first one for a touchdown. We got to secure those up, and then the ones that we're letting squirt out of the pocket with the quarterback, we got to stop those because they're leading to extend drives. the quarterbacks are hurting us because we're running up the field too far, or we're compressing the pocket, not getting off. We got to do that.
All right, 28-14 Lobos at the half. Second half highlights next. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with Danny Gonzales, the head football coach of the Lobos. It's time for second half highlights. New Mexico on top of UMass, 28-14.
Very first play of the second half, just like the first half, they threw it deep. We were in a cover 2 where you got 2 deep half safeties and Christian let the guy close to his feet. We've got to make that play. That ball should be intercepted. And then they threw a little bubble out here. Noah was a little bit late getting up to it. Too many yards. I mean, that was 15 yards on a play that we should have stoned for 2 or 3.
How do you combat that hand-to-hand combat there in the way that he was able to stiff-arm Noah?
Well, you got to go right through their thighs when they know. I mean, Anthony Simpson, number 8, he's a good receiver. And Noah's got to know that guy's going to do that to him and just go right through his thighs. He can't stiff-arm you down here. He's going to take all his balance down. Held him to a field goal, though. Got out the field 28-17. Had a little trouble with the catch on the return right there, but got it out to the 25, which is fine. We've struggled a little bit on kickoff returns. And then that was a big third down pickup by Sherrod White right there.
It felt like this first drive, more of the same. Oh, the Lobos offense is still clicking.
It did. You know, they went to a 5-man front. We missed a couple holes in the second half, and I thought their corners played a little bit better than they did in the first half.
Sherrod White really ran hard in this game, didn't he, Coach?
He did. You know, coming off of the New Mexico State game where he had the fumble down the red zone, I was really proud of him. Right there, a little bit too long on the route right there, and Dylan got the sack fumble. Jeremiah was right there, open a little bit sooner, stopped about 1 step too soon, and good thing Dylan got back on the ball.
Yeah, the ball was on the ground a couple of times. We were fortunate to get back on it.
We were. They're going to stop us right here, 3rd and 19. I thought they went a little early on this one. They said no. They said it was timed right, so we punt the ball to them and go back out on defense.
I'm with you, Coach. Early for sure.
Really good punt coverage right here. Deuce does a nice job of just running down there and throwing. And then Marvin Covington did a really nice job of securing, and it was actually ended up being a 4-yard loss on the return.
Gosh, Deuce has been the first guy down on PR coverage all season.
They triple teamed him on that play, and
he
beat
still
all
was there.
3 of them and still was the first one down.
That's awesome.
Face mask right here by Noah. We had an opportunity on 3rd and 8 that Zach was a little bit too soft in coverage, so they extend that drive, and then we give them a gain of 24 with the little bubble and then the pass interference on top of it. We got to do a better job of not giving that up. Another one on 3rd and 2, another short yardage stop. Really good job. Put them into 4th and 3, and they went for it. You're going to see a really good play right here by Christian Ellis, but once again, Tavian Combs right up the middle right there for the stop.
Fantastic. And then this, in terms of the PBU, you can't draw it up any more perfectly
No,
than
it was 4th and 3, great coverage. He sat on the route, knew we were going to get a little pressure in the quarterback's face, and then did great technique coming across, knocked the ball away. So we take over right at midfield. This was one that I really thought we were going to put in the end zone, especially after the first drive, or the first play. Get the ball in the end zone, get up 35-17, and give us a little breathing room going into the 4th quarter.
You're so close. Really just one play away from field goal position.
It was. I mean, if DJ can come up with that, now I thought they were hanging all over him, but if DJ can come up with that, extend the drive and go down there and put the ball in. Now, I expect Aaron to punt the ball a little bit better than that. We only put us on the 15. We knocked the quarterback out right here, but that's a ball that should be intercepted. We got an opportunity to go and take it in front of the receiver, and we don't. Disappointing. And then right there, they popped a run on 2nd and 5. Should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. Wasn't. Got them down here in scoring position.
And they are starting to run the ball a little bit, but here's a terrific defensive play. Just can't get on it.
No, it bounced right to the lineman's hands, and pretty athletic move right there by the old lineman to catch it and get a couple yards. Right here, we forced them again to run the ball, held them to a field goal attempt. We did a nice job in the red zone as far as not letting them score. It's a really nice play by Aaron Smith, but we can't let them get down there on big plays. That's been our kryptonite right now.
But it is nice to see these Wolf safeties making plays in pass coverage.
You know, 50-50 balls, we're about 75% of them, and that's too many. They're making 75% of them on offense. We're right there to make the play, we're just not making it. And then that was almost a big faux right there. Joe May's got to come up and catch that ball. It kind of went off of Bryce, but Wyatt McClure made a heads-up play and got on it. And then really good job by Dylan evading the sack right there, and Bill with another big play.
Every time he touches the ball, it seems like something good happens. And Hopkins, again, showing his strength.
And it just goes to show you, I mean, 230 pounds, he's strong in the weight room. It was his first off season of not missing because of injury, and you can tell it's paying off. That was a nice play right there by 25, their right corner on Deuce, which enabled us to have to punt the ball again. Great punt by Aaron. Deuce, once again, the first one down, just wasn't quite ready to hang on to him. And then Durgan, our snapper's got to make that play. Now, J.C. Davis might have made the play of the game right here. Our left tackle, came on punt coverage and made a nice stop.
Yeah, when you see a player with a 7 for the first number on his jersey in coverage making a tackle like that in space, that is so impressive.
It was really good. Like I said, it kept them out of the end zone, kept us the lead 28-20 for a while. This was a big one right here. We missed him about 4 times. Bryce Santana misses him twice before he ends up getting him on the ground. I mean, there's the second miss, and then he's the one that comes up with the sack on the third miss. Give him on credit. He made us miss a few times, but we were able to get him on the ground and get them behind the sticks. Second 22, there's the bubble play that we got beaten out a couple times earlier. Dante Martin did a nice job just avoiding the wide receiver and making a play. And then 3rd and 20, they tried the draw play, snuffed it out. They went for it on 4th and 18. We gave them a little bit too much on this, but this was smart by Tavian. Tavian knew where the chains were, didn't want to give up a big play, so he was secure over the top, but it can't be so secure we can't make the tackle. Christian Ellis did a nice job of coming in and making sure they were short.
Good thing the cavalry came there.
They did. Now, we were at 2:51 to go. We were trying to run the clock out. They did a nice job of stopping us, so we got to go out on defense with 1:31 to go. There's 2 schools of thought right here. You going to be passive, or are you going to play prevent, or are you going to get after them? We did a combination of both. The first one, we dropped 8. Second one, we should be rushing 5. One of the linebackers didn't come, and then they throw the ball, and we have a free safety right here that should intercept this ball. And Christian Ellis is a lot better player than this play right here. Now, give Anthony Simpson credit. He went up and took it. Great block right there by number 4 to secure him in the end zone. And they make it 26-28 with 45 seconds to go. Played man coverage right here. Beat the number 3 safety inside right there, and nice throw by the quarterback to tie it up.
So they hit the tight end for the 2-point conversion, and then here in the final half minute, what were you thinking?
Well, we ran the ball on 1st and 10. We wanted to see if we could pop a run real quick. If we weren't going to pop a run, we were just going to let the clock run. I mean, if we get something open, but we did not want to make a mistake and just take it into overtime with the momentum on their side. We won the toss. We chose defense first. Got them into a 4th and 1 situation because of the success we had earlier and not wanting to go away with no points. They decided to kick the field goal, so we know what we got to do on offense. Good run right here. I mean, to start off, the opportunity that we were going to go for on 4th down no matter what. We weren't going to kick a field goal in this overtime. I was disappointed right here. Trace, he's got a bunch of room right there. Give 28 credit. He made a great play because Trace Bruckler, we've seen him do it in the past, make some big plays. And then right there, Caleb Medford did a nice job of trying to readjust for the ball. DB looked back too late, had his head on him, and they called pass interference.
Yeah, he just ran right through Caleb there.
He did. It was a good adjustment. And then nice run right here by Dylan. I thought Dylan was in on this one. They said they had enough review to make sure he wasn't, so we got the ball on the 1-yard line ready to put it in. And like I said, I told Coach Vincent, find 4 plays because we're putting the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, and so this would have been a 2nd and goal scenario, but interesting deal here where a penalty gives you 1st and goal.
It is. They called them for delay of game. They stemmed, made a similar move call to our snap count, so they called delay of game on them. We ran the ball. They stubbed it the first time, but the second time, Bill wasn't being denied.
There's the 7th rushing touchdown of the year for Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, and keep the feet moving, and he ends up rolling over top of an opposing player.
He did, and I thought the offense was resilient, and the overtime defense did a great job of coming up with a stop and holding to a field goal. I mean, that's what you want to do, hold them to a field goal attempt. Hopefully they miss it. They didn't, and we put it in to score for the win.
Scary end of the 4th quarter, but a great finish, Coach.
Horrible end, but it was probably better for our team to win that way than if we won running away.
All right, we come back on the other side. We wrap up a win at UMass. Look ahead to a trip to Laramie, Wyoming. Back to wrap up your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at New Mexico, Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy. Coach G, again, congratulations. A huge win. This one couldn't have been any more important for your team, and you guys got it done.
We did. I mean, this one in Lobo Pass has gone the other way so many times, and our guys found a way to win. I mean, learning how to win and all those things we talked about is hard. Dylan's a proven winner, and I think he put the team on his back and said, let's go.
So the team is 2-2 now, and you start conference play. You're going to Laramie, Wyoming, They look really good.
They're a good football team. They had Texas 10-10 in the third quarter. They won on Saturday night, coming from behind 19-7 in the fourth quarter. Coach Bowles, very similar philosophy. They're going to try and beat you up on defense, run the ball, be physical on offense. And so I like our matchups with Wyoming. They've been a lot of fun. They've been good football games, so that's what we're expecting on Saturday.
Since Coach Gonzalez has been the head coach, a lot of success against Wyoming, typically low-scoring, battering ram type of games. But your offense is a lot better this year. More of the same?
Their defense is really good, too. I think the game will be very similar to it has been the last couple of years. And the team that plays the hardest longest is going to win. It'll be a great football game.
There are always physical matchups. What does Wyoming do offensively this year that scares you?
Well, they run the ball really well, and they've got two tight ends. Two of their top three receivers are tight ends, and they're big. 81 last year against us tore us up. I'm sure he thinks he'll do it again. So he's back, and so we'll have a challenge on Saturday.
And Wyoming is also always tough on defense, but you have a better offense than you've had as head coach at UNM?
By far, it's the best, and they're really good up front. I mean, they were able to contain Texas for 3.5 quarters. They're physical. They play the game the way I like it and I think is the right way, so it'll be fun.
Nice to go to Laramie in September, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be windy, but most likely not going to be cold, but it gets better than going in December and November, I tell you that.
Time to start a winning streak, Coach.
You can't stack two if you don't get the first one.
For Lobo head football coach Danny Gonzales, Sports Information Director Frank Mercogliano, our broadcast director Chase Christensen, I'm Robert Portnoy. New Mexico travels to Laramie to take on Mountain West rival Wyoming. So long, everybody. Go Lobos.